Are you frustrated with leads falling through the cracks moments after they come into your business and they're leads that you're spending hundreds of dollars on? Well, in this video, I want to show you the exact framework that we use in automating marketing lead follow-up for our clients, and you can take this information and implement it into your business. Hi, my name's Chris. I'm the former marketing director for an $18 million home services company. And now I run Boolean Automation, where our mission is to free you up to do what you love. And we work with painting companies around the country to automate all of their back end processes in their business. And this leads to drastically reducing their overhead costs and significantly increasing their reporting and dashboards so their owners and managers can quickly identify the problem areas in their business and take action on solving those. Did you know that responding to a lead within 5 minutes increases your chances of converting that lead by 100x as opposed to waiting for 30 minutes to call that lead back? Just think about it. When you are looking for a service and you are trying to find a plumber or an HVAC or electrician or someone to come to your house, what I do is start it on the top of Google and I call through the list. And I'm just trying to get someone to answer, and I want to book 2 or 3 appointments. I have had multiple times where I call 4 or 5 companies, 3 of them don't answer, 2 of them do. And then one of those companies that didn't answer calls me back an hour later. And I just ignore it because I already have appointments set. So that's what we're talking about optimizing, is that aspect of getting in touch with customers when they have this problem on their mind and get them booked so an estimator can go out to their house and sell them on your business and your services. But you can't do that if you're not ultra responsive on the front end. So first, I want to cover the 6 steps that you need to implement with marketing lead follow-up. Step number 1 is immediate acknowledgement. So here's the key pain point. Most companies fail to acknowledge leads instantly, and that leads to lost opportunities. So the easy solution is, as soon as a lead comes in, you have an automated text that should go out thanking them for the interest in working with your business, and say that you'll be in touch shortly. And in that text message, you can even ask if they prefer phone or text communication, but immediately within 60 seconds to all voicemails, missed calls, text messages, and web form submissions should be getting a text message from your business saying, "Thank you so much for your interest in working with our painting company. We'll be in touch with you soon. Do you prefer phone or text?" The second step is offering an immediate booking option. So this can be included in that auto response, but this is just giving people the ability, if they are ready to take action, allow them to actually book an estimate on your calendar with an estimator for a specific time and a specific date. There is nothing more powerful for a homeowner than feeling confident that they have an appointment booked on your calendar. And again, the reason why this is so critical is because as soon as a homeowner, the psychology of booking an estimate is, I feel like I've completed my checklist, what I'm trying to do. If I can come in and book an estimate with your business within 2 or 3 minutes of initially reaching out, and you never had someone in your business reach out to me, that is a huge, huge win. There's a lot of people that think maybe, there's, how do I know that I'm filtering or qualifying these leads well? And that's okay. You could have people that look at the auto bookings that come in and verify that they look legit, or you can have some additional questions that they need to fill out in order to book an estimate. You can even filter out certain zip codes and say, sorry, we don't service this area, or whatever the case may be. But just giving them the option to auto book. Not everybody's going to, but a percentage of people will, and you're going to save those leads from falling through the cracks. Step number 3 is call them back ASAP. Speed is absolutely critical. So the key pain point here is leads get cold very, very quickly. The longer you wait, the more likely they're going to go with another company. And this is an exponential drop off. So if you can answer the phone, awesome. If you can respond in 60 seconds, great. But as soon as it goes 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes and beyond, they've already called 2 or 3 other companies, and they might have an appointment booked with another company. So being ultra responsive is probably the most important part of this entire video. And actually leaving a real voicemail is absolutely huge. So the golden rule here is call within 15 minutes on average. So when I was the marketing director, we had all of our CSRs we actually had a scoreboard that tracked exactly how long our average response time was. And we were never, ever, ever allowed to go above 15 minutes. There is zero reason that you should ever have an average response time more than 15 minutes. And the reality was that we were typically around 7 to 9 minutes of response time on average. Again, 80% of the calls we answer, 20, let's say 15%, we are responding within or less than 5 minutes. And then there's a few that are outliers for whatever reason that would take us longer to get to, but you want your average definitely under 15 minutes. And that is the game. Get it as low as you can, because that's where you're going to see the most fruit from everything I'm talking about in this video. Putting energy towards how do we respond to leads in less than 5 minutes is going to serve you above all else. Step number 4 is a multi-touch follow-up. So a lot of you are focused on having automated text messages and emails going out. That's great, but you still need to have your people in the office making phone calls. The way that I look at it is that you don't know what a customer prefers. If they prefer email or text or talking to a real person, depending on the demographic that you're going after or the specific person that's reaching out to your business, one of those three is going to resonate more than the other two. So what I like doing is having this 15-minute, or I call it the 15-24-72 rule. So 15 minutes, you call them back within 15 minutes. 24 hours later, you call them again. 72 hours after that initial one, you call them a third and final time. And after each one of those, we have an automation set up. So when I leave a voicemail, a text message and an email automatically go out on each one of those. So if you do the math there, we've got 9 touches. So day one, within 15 minutes, they're going to get a text and email, or a voicemail, text and email. The next day, they're going to get voicemail, text and email. And then on the 4th day, they're going to get one final voicemail and then a text and email. So that's the ideal cadence. And that is a minimum. I would say that you could actually double or triple that volume and you would still see improved results. But just a 15-minute, 24-hour, and 72-hour call with the automated text and email is going to be game-changing for you. And the other thing to remember here is that I've heard from a lot of companies that they want to, that it takes a lot of time to call people and they need to just automate, or they just send text messages because it's faster and easier. The reality is that if you have a good system and you have the ability to have your people in your office quickly go through queues and leave voicemail, save, auto text, auto email, go to the next one, voicemail, auto text, auto email. That's the cadence that's going to serve you better, because you have that ability that if the customer answers, you don't want them talking to a robot. You want them talking to a real person. But if they don't answer, it's taken your receptionist less than 60 to 90 seconds to call that person and leave a short voicemail and then go on to the next one. Step 5 is a 72-hour and beyond campaign. So the way I look at it is someone calls in your business, you're going to have 9 touches with that person in the first 72 hours of that lead. After that, the lead, like we talked about, the first 5 minutes that's the game. But we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. We're going to follow up 3 times over 72 hours. And then we're going to start putting them into a drip campaign that is going to send out a cadence of, at day 5, day 10, day 17, day 30, and just keeping them like as long until they unsubscribe. You're just going to keep something in front of them. Maybe they change their mind and you can get them back. But the reality is that as I'm going through this list, you really should start at the top, optimize the first step, then the second step, then the third. And then this is like for larger companies, you're going to start seeing value in this. And the thing is that you have to think about percentages. It's all percentages. If you're going to have a 60% increase in bookings by responding in the first 5 minutes, that's awesome. You might see a 5% increase in bookings by optimizing your 72-hour to 60-day follow-up. And that's why large companies can justify that, because when you have 1,000 leads coming in the door, 50 additional leads is a big deal. That's a huge number. But when you only have 50 or 100 leads coming in a month, 5 additional leads, yeah, there's still something there. But just keep in mind that the focus of your time and energy needs to be on those high value areas, which all comes down to your immediate responsiveness. And the final step is stopping the campaign that I'm talking about once they have been engaged with and either booked a call, been disqualified, or they opt out themselves. So that's the key here, is that this whole cadence, when we're saying that you have to follow up within 15 minutes, 24, 72, that idea is the only way they're going to make it to 72 and get all 9 touches is if they literally ignore every other touch in that process. And that's why I would say potentially even bumping it up to a 15-minute and then end of day and then 24 and 72. By doing it that way, realistically, you might get most of the people on that second outreach or second call. But the idea or the argument of, oh, I don't want to overwhelm customers, I would say that's bull. These are people that have told you, I want your business to do something for me, and it is your responsibility to stay in their top of inbox and voicemails, text messages, so they can quickly say, oh, I'm not interested anymore. But until they do that, you assume that they must be in a meeting. They might be taking their kids to school. They might be driving and they can't talk right now. They might be just on the phone with somebody else. But you have to continue to stay on them until they tell you, I'm not interested, or you can talk to them and then disqualify, or what the ultimate goal is, get them booked. All right, so big point here is the importance of speed to lead. Like I said before, focus the majority of your time and effort in this follow-up process on how do we get to people faster. And yes, text messages help. It's an acknowledgement, but you need to get appointments booked on the calendar within 5 minutes. So if you can do that with an auto booking link, great. If you can do that with your people calling out from the office, even better. But you have to focus on getting the lead actually booked within 5 minutes, because everything else starts dropping off quickly. It's still worth optimizing, but don't focus on that until you've optimized how do we get to people faster. A bonus tip for all of you is including educational content in your follow-up. So these could be simple things like what to expect on the estimate. There's a great book called They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. And in this book, he talks about the 80% video. And you can make one of these videos by sitting down with all of your sales reps and saying, hey, what are the most common questions that customers ask you on the appointments that you go on? And they're going to easily rattle off like, oh, what does it cost? How long does it take? What types of products do you use? Like whatever the questions are that they come up with, you then take one of your reps that's best on camera and just hold up an iPhone and have them answer those questions and say, you know, this is how we price projects. This is the products that we use. This is the way that we do our work. And you answer those questions, and that becomes the 80% video, which you can then send to customers in follow-up emails to say, hey, I saw you're interested in this service. Here's a video of our estimator answering the most common questions that we get asked by customers that are also looking to paint their house. That type of educational content is invaluable when it comes to building trust and increasing your brand or your rapport with clients. And it is absolutely critical to staying in top of mind for those customers. That's all I got for you today, guys. I hope this was valuable. And just remember this framework, if you want it, I'll link this document down below so you can use that kind of as a framework. If you have other questions, comments, ideas, drop them in the comments down below or send us an email. We're always happy to engage and put out more instructional videos or ways that you can get this implemented and going yourself. If you're a larger painting company and you want this done right the first time and quickly, reach out to us. We're always happy to do a free consultation and see what there is that we might be able to help you with or give you more resources and point you in the right direction. Thank you so much for watching. And in the next video, I'm going to dive into the follow-up process between an estimate being booked and the appointment actually taking place. So stick around for that, and we will dive into all of we call it the estimate confirmation cadence that should be happening in between that booking and the estimate taking place. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video.